Hi guys, I'm Muhammad Abhinas from WHS Panangot. Okay, 1 minute. Let's just turn off the lights.
What has Abhinas done? He switched off the electric field. No, you may not agree. You may say he switched off the lights. No, I would say he switched off the electric field. What you have to understand is light is nothing but electric field. I can tell you something more. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, just imagine God has switched off all the electric field of the universe. What all things won't be there tomorrow morning if such a thing happens? The first thing that goes off is the mobile that you are seeing. You will not see anything around because there is no lights. There will be no power in your house because it is electric field. The hospitals will not have diagnostic techniques, treatment, etc. because for example, the cancer treatment is done using electric field. When electric field falls on the cancerous cells, those are burned off. In these situations, I must say precisely electric field is combined with magnetic field, but it is electric field in action you are seeing. Now my question is, you may also wonder, you are seeing using electric field, at the same time it is used for cancer treatment. How this can be possible? When the electric field from the light is falling on your eyes, why your eyes are not burned off? The difference I hope you can understand, I hope you can imagine, the difference is in the strength of the electric field. So we now are familiar with the electric field. We have to familiarize with its strength, how electric field is measured. And telling you frankly, I must say and I must remind you that this is the most important class I have shot so far. And this probably is the most important class of the second year physics. So I request you to pay maximum attention to this class and enjoy it and understand it, because this concept is very important for understanding all the sequences that you are studying in second year. Okay. Now for understanding the strength of the electric field, we go back to our previous situation where you have a ball, a conducting ball. This time let us imagine it to be a copper ball because it is a better conductor. So this is a copper ball hanged in our lab or in our classroom using a non-conducting string. So this is a copper ball. I am picking electrons from that, means it is positively charged. Okay. Let us imagine its charge is plus 10 microcoulomb as usual. Okay. You just imagine an electron and a proton here. Now you know electrons are negatively charged and protons are positively charged. They are held in the electric field of this charged copper ball. The electrons are attracted in this direction and the protons are pushed in this direction. That's simple. Now for understanding electric field, you need to understand its direction as well as magnitude, and we understand the direction first. See, electron is experiencing a force in this direction, proton in that direction, or negative charges in this direction, positive charges in the other direction. That is the direction of force. What we take is, this is a standard procedure we are taking. The direction of force on the positive charge is taken as the direction of the electric field. So, tell me of these two directions, 1, 2, which will be the direction of the electric field? 1 is the direction of the electric field. So, you may note down that, write it and study that. The direction in which a positive charge experiences a force is the direction of the electric field. Okay. Now for understanding the magnitude, you just imagine you want to understand the magnitude of electric field at this point. What we do is, we imagine we are placing a plus 1 coulomb charge there, plus 1 coulomb charge. I know, and you also must recollect, that plus 1 coulomb charge is a huge charge. You cannot hold it practically on any object in the universe with you. So, why this? This is purely an imagination. Plus 1 coulomb charge, you imagine you are keeping it there. Now, definitely it will experience a force in this direction because of the repulsion. So, what we understand is this is the direction of the electric field at this point. Now, how much force is there on this charge? We call it as the test charge. How much force is there on this charge? That decides the intensity, strength, intensity of the electric field. So, you may write it as a definition, study that, then you can understand it. It's very simple. You may write it. The intensity of electric field at any point in an electric field is the force experienced by plus 1 coulomb charge kept at that point. So, that is intensity defined. I hope you understood that. Now, I want you to memorize this, learn it by heart. It should be there at the tip of your pen, anytime, always. So, intensity of electric field, I repeat with me, intensity of electric field at any point in an electric field is the force experienced by plus 1 coulomb charge kept at that point. Okay. If you are keeping a charge of 1 coulomb at this point, just imagine it has 1,000 Newton force on that. So, we say E is equal to, E is the symbol for intensity of electric field. Learn that term, intensity of electric field. E is equal to 1000 Newton per coulomb. So, that definition is wonderful. You just understand it. E is equal to 1000 newtons for each coulomb you are placing there. So, I hope you understood. Now, just imagine this is the point where this much of intensity is there. Now, you can guess, if you move away here, the intensity decreases. If you move closer here, intensity increases. For better understanding, you imagine a point below here. Let that point be at the same distance as here. So, due to the symmetry of the situation, the electric field at this point also will be 1000 newtons per coulomb. 1000 newtons per coulomb. So, I am keeping a charge, just imagine. You cannot hold free charges in air. Again, I am imagining that. And you should not forget that imagination is a far better quality than intelligence. Who said this? Albert Einstein. Okay. So, if you put a charge there, just imagine that. You cannot put charges in air like that, but still you can imagine it that way. Q is equal to, just let it be some 50, that is too big. Let it be some 5 coulomb charge. If you keep some 5 coulomb charge, what will happen? Imagine that is positive. What happens is, our common sense say this positively charged copper ball will repel this charge and push it in this direction. What you will see is the charge will be pushed in that direction. Now, that is not the way we say about this now. We say the electric field here pushes this charge in this direction. The electric field is pushing that charge in that direction, and you can find out the force. The force on that is equal to, the force will be, you guessed it, if 1 coulomb is there, 1000 Newton force. If 5 coulomb is there, the force will be 5000 newtons. So, how is the formula? You can make a formula like E into Q for that. So, F is equal to EQ, the common sense formula. This will be equal to, E is 1000 Newton per coulomb and 5 coulomb. So, it will be 1000 newtons. So, this is another formula you have to memorize, and I hope you understood the situation. You may write this formula. See, in physics, when you are writing a formula and memorizing that, you have to memorize it, because you cannot recollect a formula as and when you need it if you just casually see that. You memorize this formula. This is how we study, write that formula. You may write that the force on a charge Q in an electric field E is F is equal to EQ. So, F is equal to EQ is a simple formula you have to memorize. So, this much of force will be there, it moves down. Just imagine, instead of plus 5 coulomb charge, you keep a charge of minus 5 coulomb. What will happen? In this situation, you can say the same amount of force will be there. But what will be the direction of that force? Instead of moving it in this way, this charge will move it in this way. Correct, no? So, it will move this way. Why it moves this way? Simple. We can understand it is minus charge and this positive charge will be pulling it towards that. Correct, no? So, positive charge is pushed in this direction, negative charge is pulled in this direction. This is another very important point you have to remember. This is the same as what you have described here also. Electron is pulled in this direction, proton is pushed in the opposite direction. So, this is another fundamental idea about electric field. An electric field, you understand it carefully, an electric field pushes a positive charge in its direction and a negative charge in the opposite direction. I hope you understood. I repeat that. An electric field pushes a positive charge in its direction and a negative charge in the opposite direction. Memorize that also. You know, understanding electric field is internalizing electric field. If you discuss this to yourself first, or if you have any confusion, discuss it with one of your friends so that there will be no confusion remaining in your mind. Okay. So, what we studied so far is two ideas. One, how is electric field measured? Electric field is measured as the force on a test charge. How much force is there on a test charge? That is the magnitude, and the direction in which the test charge moves is the direction. And this is what we studied along with that. A positive charge is pushed by an electric field in its direction and a negative charge is pushed in the opposite direction. And before we conclude, we go for a practical situation. Okay. You have a copper ball here. We don't know the dimensions, we are not bothered. And we are giving a charge of say 10 microcoulomb to that. It is distributed all over its surface. And you know, later you will study for all outward points, this charge is as good as a charge located at the center. I hope you understood. For all outward effects, this charge behaves as if it is located at the center. So, I want to find out the electric field at this point. Electric field E is equal to, recollect the definition. The electric field at a point in an electric field is the force on 1 coulomb charge plus 1 coulomb charge kept at that point. For finding this force, you have Coulomb's law, which is written as 9 into 10 raised to 9 into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay, I take this distance to be 1 meter for ease. Okay, and Q1 is this much. This is Q1 and this is Q2. So I am finding it. So it is 9 into 10 raised to 9 into, write it in your notebook. 10 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 1 divided by 1 square, that is 1. So that is, it is 90 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. Whoa, that is 90,000 newtons per coulomb. That's a huge electric field. You may feel that this electric field is so huge that you will be harmed if you stand there. Actually, no, you are absolutely safe. These electric field values are very large because of that coulomb is large. Don't worry, you are absolutely safe. So, I rewrite it here. Here the electric field is in this direction. Its magnitude is E is equal to 90 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per coulomb. Suppose I have another copper ball. Say I am keeping that copper ball here. That also is given a charge of 10 microcoulomb. That also is at a distance 1 meter here. This also produces an electric field here. And can you guess what is the direction? It is in this direction. And its magnitude also is equal to, I write it as E2 because we already have a first ball electric field. Second ball, its electric field is equal to 90 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per coulomb. So if I keep a charge here, say plus 1 coulomb charge if I am keeping here, where will it go? Our common sense thing is, according to or due to this, it should move in this direction. Due to this, it must move in this direction. So naturally it moves, they are equal, so my drawing must be the same. And you have to find the resultant electric field at this point. And as these two are equal, you know it is at 45 degrees. And I hope you can recollect how to add vectors. So you have to add vectorially, you have to add and find the resultant electric field at here. That will be in this direction. So you can write E resultant is equal to root 2 times. Oh, that's how you calculate it, no? That's the Pythagoras theorem in action. Into 90 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per coulomb. So that is easy. So this is, if you have two electric field sources, the resultant electric field is found by the vector addition principle. We call that as the superposition principle also. That's very simple. If you have more than one field, they add up vectorially. That's very simple. So I hope you enjoyed electric field. What I suggest you to do is, again, if you required, you see the video again. Else you be with your notebook, find the ideas, study the ideas and enjoy those ideas. And tell your friends about these classes, and please share and subscribe Lex Nova channel and support me so that more people or more of your friends can study physics, enjoy physics. Okay, thank you.